Hey there everyone, this is Michael Dougal. I review supplements that can improve cognition, and in this video you're going to learn about Agmatine Sulfate, which may improve in cognition but as well is more commonly actually used for improving your body composition. That's right, you're often going to see it in a lot of pre-workout formulas, specifically because Agmatine Sulfate is one of the few ingredients that is somewhat responsible for having muscle pumps at the gym. And if you were looking for a supplement to help you to have bigger pumps, you would often be looking at some sort of blend of Agmatine Sulfate and some other ingredients because of its ability of increasing levels of nitric oxide, and that may as well be paired with some sort of improvement with your mood and help with productivity, focus, and cognition. One user of the supplement mentioned they found it really helpful for depression, feeling more motivated, and as well it helped them with their circulation and improved their workouts, although they were finding themselves building somewhat of a tolerance to it and they weren't using it too often because of that effect. So we're going to look at the benefits, the side effects, how to take Agmatine Sulfate, and what you can potentially mix it with to have better results. And if you're unfamiliar with Agmatine Sulfate, what you should know is that it is naturally occurring. It's actually found in certain fermented foods, including wine, and it's derived from the amino acid arginine, and it may help to improve with neurotransmitter balance as well as increasing dopamine levels. And studies have actually shown that agmatine levels in the brain are elevated when you're focused and when you're learning something. So theoretically, if you're supplementing then with agmatine, what's happening is you have more agmatine in the brain to be used as fuel, you can say, which means better memory, better level of focus. This is gorilla mode, and they have a 500 milligram serving size of Agmatine Sulfate to be used 30 minutes before working out. And that makes sense why Agmatine Sulfate is a popular ingredient in pre-workout products. It's because of the fact that not only can it help with muscle pumps, but also can provide that better level of focus, because Agmatine Sulfate does increase nitric oxide levels, and higher nitric oxide levels anecdotally are reported with having a better sense of well-being and happiness. And we can see why this is so. Not only will Agmatine Sulfate increase nitric oxide levels, helping you to have a better pump, but you're also potentially in a better mood. And from my experience, there aren't too many side effects with it. And this is a neat study showing this may just be the case, evidence for dietary Agmatine Sulfate effectiveness. And what they did go ahead and conclude was that, interestingly, substantial preclinical evidence indicates that Agmatine treatment exerts antidepressant and anti-seizure effects. And although most of these subjects were animals, there were a few humans that had ingested Agmatine Sulfate and noted just that it had antidepressant-like effects. One of the popular uses outside of mood improvement and outside of helping you with your workouts is actually for relieving pain. This seems to be one of the most natural and probably safest painkillers that are out there, and there's a lot of research backing it does just that. As per this chart over here, we can actually see there's different categories of pain depending on different sensations that people had experienced, such as burning, numbness, tingling, freezing. And what they looked at was the subjective score of pain prior to Agmatine treatment and after Agmatine treatment, which could be a reason why maybe individuals would use Agmatine Sulfate not only pre-workout but also post-workout to help them feel more recovered and help them with muscle soreness. As per this anecdote over here, somebody had mentioned they've been taking Agmatine for close to 7 years. They like larger doses because it dramatically enhances and sustains its pain relieving effects. It makes it beneficial for their acute pain. And they also found that a serving size of under 250 milligrams can enhance their social interactions and help them with disruptive tendencies. Some other common benefits that are associated with Agmatine Sulfate supplementation include having a restful sleep, helping to support immune system function, helping to promote overall strength and endurance, and helping with digestive health. Now, I've looked into all the research pertaining it to relating to performance, helping you with exercise, whether it be cardiovascular activity or weightlifting. I've not really found any research showing that Agmatine Sulfate makes too much of a difference. Sure, if it helps you have a better muscle pump, you're in a better mood, you're more likely to go ahead and finish your workout and look forward to workouts in the future. Yeah, looking at the study here, the effect of acute Agmatine Sulfate supplementation on repeated anaerobic sprint performance, and the study went ahead and analyzed the use of Agmatine Sulfate pre-workout. And what's great was they used it on college-age individuals that were all men. There was a placebo group, and there was a group that was taking 1 gram of Agmatine Sulfate prior to their workout. And the study went ahead and concluded that they found these findings do not support that consuming 1 dose of Agmatine Sulfate prior to exercise improved their exercise performance. So this is a supplement like many other ones in the fitness realm, which show that it can be beneficial. At the same time, you have counter evidence showing that it doesn't do anything. And so you're going to have to decide yourself if you're going to use Agmatine Sulfate. Personally, I would give Agmatine Sulfate a thumbs up. I probably wouldn't recommend everyone takes it. I don't think it's super effective. I think that you may get a slight mood improvement. You may get a slightly better workouts. I still use Agmatine Sulfate every day because of the fact that it's in my pre-workout product, and I don't have an issue with that. All things considered, I would prefer having Agmatine Sulfate, but it's not like you would want to be taking every supplement in the world. And I think there's much more powerful supplements for improving your mood and your subjective well-being. For example, rhodiola rhodiola rosea, which I've talked about in this video over here. And rhodiola rosea similarly helps you with pain, helps you with fatigue, helps you with feeling alert, energized, and feeling productive. But something I like about Agmatine Sulfate is that it seems like a healthy supplement overall. It seems good for immune support, it helps good for fighting off sickness, and seems like a product that I'd be comfortable ingesting every single day, knowing that although I may not notice anything, it may potentially be good for me long term. Looking at the side effects, they seem pretty mild. Headaches are somewhat common. It may cause insomnia for some individuals, so I wouldn't recommend taking it too close to bed. Again, this is a product which most people would use pre-workout, so I can't see why anyone would take it before bed, nor do I know how it would improve sleep, though some studies have mentioned that it could potentially do that. As shown in this discussion over here, somebody had asked, how much Agmatine do you take when you're using it for sleep purposes? As some people swear it gives them insomnia, but most say it improves their sleep quality. And one individual had mentioned that 45 to 60 minutes before sleeping, they'll have 1 gram of Agmatine Sulfate, and they love what it does for them. Now, this is a really neat study which sheds light because they actually looked at long-term supplementation of Agmatine Sulfate being 5 years, and they found that after high daily dosage of 2.67 grams per day, being 3 capsules of 445 milligrams each taken once in the morning and once in the evening after meals, after 5 years of daily ingestion, there were no side effects actually shown with the Agmatine Sulfate users. It reads, the case study shows for the first time that the recommended high dose of Agmatine may be consumed for at least 5 years without evidence of any adverse effects. I've not come across any anecdotes which say this, but some of the studies did actually report that a few users of Agmatine Sulfate did actually need to vomit after ingestion, but again, this is rare and this is likely not going to happen to you. So if you do choose to go ahead and supplement with Agmatine Sulfate, there's a pretty large variance between the dosage size that individuals would take. The dosage recommendations are typically 250 milligrams to 2.5 grams during the day. Now, most of the studies show that Agmatine Sulfate was ingested in higher quantities, like 2 to 3 grams per day, but that's because in these studies, the individuals were usually using it for pain. So I would say if you're using it for cognition and for improving your workouts, a serving size of 500 milligrams to 1 gram prior to working out, like 30 minutes before working out, would be good. Or if you are going to use it on days you're not working out, you can consider using it sometime in the afternoon, and a serving size as well as 500 milligrams to 1 gram. Though you can definitely get away with having smaller serving sizes. I think smaller serving sizes are great. Why take more of a supplement when you can take a smaller amount and still feel the effects, right? It's not always as if more is better. And so a good way you can start off taking Agmatine Sulfate is just ingesting 250 milligrams a day. 250 milligrams, it's not the smallest dose. In fact, people do actually notice results from it. I'm looking at this anecdote over here. An individual mentioned that they took 250 milligrams about 2 hours ago, and they could definitely feel it in that they felt mildly uplifted and they felt stimulated. A few other supplements that I really enjoy using alongside Agmatine Sulfate, specifically pre-workout, would be citrulline malate, that as well being very good for pumps. Beta-alanine, that one's good for recovery, also helps to heighten focus a little bit, and L-tyrosine really provides for better focus and actually does have some research backing it being effective for fat loss and for a better exercise performance. And I've talked more about some different pre-workout ingredients in this video right over here. If you did find this video informative, go ahead and subscribe. Do drop a like and share your comments in the comment section below of what your thoughts are on Agmatine Sulfate. Have you tried it? Will you try it in the future? I'd love to know. And if you want to chat with me one-on-one, you can message me on Patreon or message me on Instagram. We're having a whole lot of fun. I thank you for your support and look forward to seeing you next time.